Alright, gonna go over the news real quickly here. Again, you can find all the news on, I'll type it in here. Here's the news here. Okay, 2xPRESS.com. Alright, so you've got the news there. Now, let's check it out. Michelle Bachmann, 1.1 million she got, but then she's going against unemployment. People are just too dependent upon the government, as far as I'm concerned. Michelle Bachmann, of course, I told my buddy this morning, I said, isn't it great how Ron Paul did in Iowa? He said, yeah, you almost won it. Well, he did win it, because he didn't buy any votes. And she spent $180,000 on buying tickets for a Randy Travis concert or some concert like that. And so, of course, if you spend $180,000 on tickets, you're going to get a few votes from that. So it's just ridiculous. And she's a Christian Zionist. If you look at the facts on how people can support Zionism after what's going on, it's ridiculous. When I first started looking at the Palestine versus Zionist question, all I could see is what the media gave me. Of course, I didn't know the media was just out and out propaganda. It's not media. It's really not media. It's just pure propaganda and spin. The only time you're not going to get spin is if something's inconsequential. So if it has consequence to it, you can rest assured, don't trust it. Okay, so this Bachmann thing, nobody's going to vote for her anyway. Come on, people. Come on, all right? Here's another thing about George Soros, these billionaires. Why do people give them any credibility? Where do they get their billions from? All these big media conglomerates, and they're talking about how the guy's in every nook and cranny in the world. European protests over the Gaza offensive, meaning Israel's Gaza offensive. They're pretending like it's a war there. The Gaza is just individual people. It's like a city, they're blasting a city. I don't know. It's just can't it just end? Can't it just stop? It's ridiculous. I'm just sick of it. The flotilla, Flotilla 2. They wouldn't even let anybody in there. You can't go to Gaza. Go ahead and try. A couple of people, like maybe 16 people or something, went from England, and they were just trying to visit the place, trying to see it firsthand for themselves. And so they got down in Ben Gurion Airport, and they got arrested immediately and then deported the next day. What was their crime? They just wanted to go visit this place. The heavy hand is just, this heavy-handed tyranny is just, and then you talk to people about it and they just grin. Because they think they can't do anything about it. But all you really have to do when you have all these numbers is just talk about it. And if we could get people to just be honest and just stop, start caring a bit, we could get past these issues. What is it with you people? Does it make you feel good? Make a glass parking lot out of the Middle East? Is that good? All these wars and stuff, we can't get over it? Do you like living in a human system where it's basically failed? So humanity is failed, basically. U.S. gives millions to Taliban. Well, of course, this is a mistake. Of course, they just gave it to some people who ended up going. What are we doing over there in the first place? Aren't there enough people inside the country that need the money? Just crazy. Let's get back to this timeline again. See if I can make this a little bigger for you. And this timeline is about consciousness, and I think it's very appropriate. And you can see how consciousness actually speeds up as you go each stage. And each stage gets progressively shorter and shorter, basically by a factor of 20. So that's why when we had the last one, 1999, until February 11th of 2011, so that's like 12 years. And now we're like every year. And then actually right now, it's doubling. It's multiplied times 20 so fast that by October 28th, the Mayan calendar is at the end. In other words, consciousness should have achieved its crescendo. And if you combine that with the law of attraction, it means that what we see is what we're going to get. And so that's very interesting, because you have what I think is a fork in the road, at least one fork in the road, where you have some people looking at a Nibiru coming and aliens coming, or at least a planet flyby and catastrophe on the Earth. and then you have other people that are looking to something more of a pleasant earth. And could it be possible that both strapes of reality are actually true, and then you won't see the other one? You'll just be stuck in whatever reality you're at. And if that's the case, we better get our own house in order, our own spirituality in order, because that could be very well be the path that we're going to end up taking. What's also interesting about this, February 11, 2011, all the way to October 28th, is even though the calendar ends at that time, time is probably more of a smooth function, and this function is kind of like this exponential thing that we've all seen, right? And if you follow it one more and you divide by 20 again, you get like less than every day, you go into a new day. And by the time you hit the next cutoff will be 11, 11, 11. And at that point, this whole 7 days and 6 nights, this whole 13 motif of consciousness will actually be squished into every hour. And then still on that day, on 11/11, it'll squish into every minute and every second, so it becomes infinite. On 11/11/11, according to this calendar, if you extend it out a little bit further, you will find it's completely infinite. And I think what that means is that a novelty becomes reality. And you could say, well, how is that even possible? Well, I'll give you a scenario. It's really possible, and that's the dreamlike state. In the dreamlike state, you don't have time. You're just there. Have you ever noticed that? Like, 1 second you're there, and the next second you're over here. It doesn't take time to do anything. It's where you're focused on in your dream, you're already there. So anyway, I thought that would be a little bit interesting, and if that's the case, it would also explain why there's so much chaos in the world, and why all there's basically this dichotomy and this dualism that's occurring and this chaos that's happening, because it's the natural event that keeps time and holds this matrix together. The other side of it, of course, is we realize we're all one, and it collapses in and of itself, and we become gods, so to speak. So anyway, that's my take on it, and I guess it's up to us to get our heart right. If this is the case, we better be right, because if we are evil inside, by the time it goes infinite, look out. It's just going to be fiery hell and damnation. Ah!